Hi, my name is Moses, and I'm the lazy frugal millennial. Today, I want to go over how much I spend in a week during quarantine. There was a period in my life where I let lifestyle inflation take over to the point where I had zero financial growth. And I knew that was going to be a huge issue going forward since it's always been my goal to retire early, preferably before 50. So after binge watching a whole bunch of Graham Stephan videos, over the last 2 years, I've worked really hard to reduce as many of my expenses as I could so that I could live a frugal lifestyle while still being comfortable. Fortunately, I live in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and as a state, New Mexico has the fifth lowest cost of living in the entire country. But the last time I worked on a budget was back in March of 2020 when I was buying this house, and that's also before shit hit the fan. I thought it would be interesting to see what my spending looks like during a global pandemic and quarantine where we're all staying home, because you don't have to tell me twice to stay home. I'm going to be doing my calculation a little bit differently because our shopping and our spending habits have changed during quarantine. For example, we only go grocery shopping once every couple of weeks, and on that trip, we buy several weeks worth of groceries at a time. So on top of counting how much I spent this week, I'm also going to count how much I consumed this week for things that I bought before making this video. On Monday, I started my day with a cup of cereal. But of course, I don't waste my money on brand name Fruity Pebbles. I buy the generic brand Fruity Dino Bites. The Amazon Basics Red Solo knockoff cup was 8 cents. The Costco plastic spoon was 2 cents. The cereal was 42 cents. And the milk was 13 cents. So in total, my breakfast cost me 65 cents. For lunch, we reheated Pizza Hut pizza that we had gotten over the weekend to celebrate my girlfriend getting an A on her finance final. We bought the big box that had 2 pizzas, pasta, and breadsticks, which came out to a total of 8 meals for us. We paid $25.88 for the big box, so my lunch ended up being $3.24. For dinner, we made baked potatoes and mac and cheese. The 4 baked potatoes were 63 cents, and all the mac and cheese ingredients came out to $5. We also had about 1.5 portions of leftovers for the next day. The total for Monday was $8.89. On Tuesday, I skipped breakfast because our milk wasn't smelling very good anymore, so I had to throw away $1.50 worth of milk. And then for lunch, I reheated the last bit of pizza that we had, which was another $3.24. On Tuesday, our master bathroom clogged, so we had to go to Lowe's to buy some things to fix that, and that all came out to $61.38. Then we also had to restock on milk and a couple of other things that we needed since our last shopping trip 2 weeks before, and all of that came out to $23.08. I'm not going to count the consumption value of these things going forward since I'm already including the spending cost. We didn't take my car for any of these trips, so I also spent $0 in gas. For dinner, we heated up leftovers of our mac and cheese and our vodka pasta, so I'm going to call it free since they're leftovers. The total for Tuesday was $89.20. On Wednesday, I finally got to start my day with coffee since we restocked on half and half on Tuesday. I get my coffee through a subscription with Trade Coffee, so I'm going to include the cost of that in my overhead instead of my consumption. I also had a green chili bagel for breakfast, which came from our Tuesday shopping trip, so I'm not going to include the cost of that. I filmed this video during lunch on Wednesday, and since I had already eaten a green chili bagel and drank coffee, I went ahead and skipped lunch. I also lost my appetite after spending 3 hours trying to unclog our sewer with very little progress. I ended up having to call a plumber to fix it, and that was $129.45. Our house has really old galvanized pipes that are original from when the house was built 60 years ago, and the inside of the pipes are starting to fall apart, so they'll occasionally cause some clogs. But this is only the second time that it's happened since we moved in. On Wednesday, I also went to the office to do a little bit of work, and that's about a 1.5 mile round trip from my house. According to my OBD2 port reader, I used 0.09 gallons of gas, or 17 cents worth of gas. I really want to buy a bike for when we go back to working in the office, but they've been crazy overpriced during the whole pandemic with everybody buying bikes right now. For dinner, we made stir-fry noodles. I haven't had a chance to show off my bulk purchases on the channel yet, so here's a few of them. The total for dinner was $2.64. Since stir-fry noodles are kind of light, we ended up getting hungry a couple hours later. So we made our ghetto version of a cheese plate, which is habanero jack cheese and Ritz crackers. That comes out to around 50 cents since we buy Kroger cheese and we buy our Ritz in bulk. The total for Wednesday was $132.76. On Thursday for breakfast, again I had a bagel and coffee. Then for lunch, we made some really good ramen packages that we just recently found at our grocery store. They sell for 59 cents each, so my lunch was $1.18. These have a lot of sodium though, so we really had to drink our water on Thursday. We played GTA for a few hours after work, and it's a good thing we're not counting that spending because we each spent a couple million on some new cars and some new buildings. Then for dinner, we had fried rice. The total for dinner was $1.82, and we still had one portion of leftovers. The total for Thursday was $3. On Friday, I decided to change things up a bit, so I had coffee and a bagel for breakfast. Since we woke up to some snow, I also decided to use a scoop of cocoa powder, so I'll add in another 15 cents for that. For lunch, I had a microwavable Cheeto mac and cheese cup that we found at the grocery store a couple weeks before, and it just tasted like pasta with Cheeto dust. It's much more of a kid food than anything. That cost $1.29, then I had a few snacks to fill up after that, so I'll add another $1.50. I drove to the office to pick up my free 5-gallon water tanks from the neighboring business. We go through about 15 gallons a week of drinking water, which would cost us $21 a week if we were paying for the refills. So it's a good thing we get that for free now that we're addicted to tasteless water. After that, I went to my parents' house to pick up some free food they had for us. In total, I used 0.35 gallons of gas, or 70 cents worth of gas. For dinner, we made pan pizza. The total for that was $3.89. We also made pineapple and coconut water rum slush. We bought the pineapple and the coconut water on our shopping trip, but we used about $1.85 worth of rum in that drink. That brought the total for Friday up to $9.38. On Saturday, I started my day at 10 a.m., so I had the leftover fried rice for breakfast. Since they're leftovers, I'm counting them as free. When my girlfriend came home from work, we heated up the food that my parents had given us, so that was also free. But for dinner, we decided to go all out. Last week we had celebrated my girlfriend getting an A on her finance final. This week we were celebrating her getting straight A's in all of her classes. We got takeout from a local pizza and pasta place called Saggio's. We got 2 slices of pizza, a plate of baked ziti, and a slice of cheesecake. The total for that was $30.66. We used 52 cents worth of gas to go and pick it up, and that's why you should never pay $5 for delivery. The total for Saturday was $31.18. Sundays are the one day a week that we're both free, so we try to enjoy them as much as possible. We always sleep in till around 10 a.m., and then we finally roll out of bed sometime around 11 a.m. We started our Sunday with a pitcher of mimosa, which came out to $12.50. We also made our Spanish potatoes with eggs and tortillas, but I forgot to record a video of that because we were in the middle of consuming a whole bottle of champagne. But anyways, the total for that was $2.87. We spent the rest of the afternoon playing video games and watching TV. Then for dinner, we reheated our leftover pizza and baked ziti. Since these are leftovers, I'm counting them as free. We also decided to make donuts for our next week breakfast. This was our first time making donuts, but I think they turned out pretty good. The total for the donuts was $1.08, but 27 cents worth of that stuff came from our shopping trip, so I'm only going to count 81 cents. That made us 12 donuts and 21 donut holes. More fried cake than we should ever have in our house at one time. The total for Sunday was $16.18. This video pretty much turned into a video of what I eat in a week. The pandemic has just accelerated the process of me becoming a boring adult, so I'm sorry if it wasn't as entertaining as you expected. The total spending and consumption for this week came out to $290.59. If our bathroom hadn't backed up and we hadn't had to call a plumber, that would be all the way down to $99.76. I think it's pretty amazing that I've gotten my spending down to under $100. But now that we've covered my spending and my consumption in a week, let's take a look at my overhead in a week. I'm going to break my overhead down into 3 different categories. One for personal, one for my main company, and one for my cleaning company. My personal overhead comes out to $439.51 per week. Ouch. My main company is $68.15 per week, and my cleaning company is $50.35 per week. So finally, my total personal spending this week was $730.10. My total business spending this week came out to $118.50. That brings my grand total spending for this week to $848.60. I think that's still kind of high, but it looks a lot better than it did just a couple years ago. I'm really proud of what that number is because it took a lot of work just to get it down to that level. At this point, I'm down to only the expenses that I deem absolutely necessary for myself. So if I want to increase how much I'm investing every month, I'm going to have to work on increasing my income. So going forwards, I'm going to be putting a lot more focus on increasing my income than I am decreasing my expenses. Speaking of transitions, thank you for watching my video. If you enjoyed it, then please like and subscribe to my channel, and leave me some feedback down in the comments to let me know what you think. Don't forget to drink your water, and I'll see you on the next one.